Coach Kidd, what wasn't going right there early for y'all to get down 31?
No, that's a good question. Well, you give them credit. They came out and we talked about it. Paul, George, and Harden. We had to keep them off the free throw line, but also the three. And they made 14 there in the first half. We talked about it at halftime, and we did a lot better job. They made 4 there in the second half, but just understanding the guys that can hurt you, and Paul did a good job of getting going early. Our defense, again, in that first quarter was not up to par. We got great looks offensively. We missed some. It was kind of like game one all over again, having a bad quarter. But the big thing is we fought, take the lead, we go up 1, and then George hits a corner three, a tough corner three, and then they take the lead again. So just looking at the start, we got to be better. To answer your question, we just have to be better. Contested threes is one thing, but when you give these guys warm-up threes, you can put yourself in a bad position, and that's what happened there in the first.
Jason, you mentioned the damage they did from the three-point line early. Obviously, the fourth quarter, they did most of their damage in the paint. What was the thought process of staying small with Maxi for those last 10 minutes instead of bringing back Gafford or Lively?
Yeah, just, understanding offensively, we needed to, space the floor. Maxi did a really good job there. Understanding with the options that we have of being able to play Maxi, being able to stretch the floor was the option we went with. Living with twos in this league doesn't hurt you. Threes kill you, and threes killed us this afternoon. We got to be better. When Harden is taking twos, it's better than a step back or him shooting a three, and just understand where they were shooting from the three in that first half. So you got to give up something. They're talented, and so we gave up the twos. Contested twos, they made them, but they gave us a chance to get back in the game and actually take the lead.
Jason, obviously the Clippers were doing a little bit of hunting today on Luka, and with his knee being a little hobbled, how do you think he fared on defense, and then how do you think his health is overall?
Yeah, I thought he did everything he could. His health, you would have to ask him how his health, but I thought he competed on both ends. He put us in a position, again, we take the lead there in the fourth. We just came up short, but again, I thought he did a really good job on both ends.
Jason, what did you see from Kyrie those last 3 quarters when he scored 40 points?
Well, all 4 quarters, if he didn't get going, it would have been, that game would have been over in the first. And so for him to be able to get going in the second got us back. And we just talked about, if we can get it within 15 there going before halftime, and we got it to 17. And then I told the coaches that I think we can get this thing down to 4 by the fourth. And we did. It was a 4-point game going into the fourth. But again, we had to play perfect in that fourth, and we just didn't come up with the key rebound. There was one that Harden came up with an offensive rebound. We got the missed 3, but Harden comes up with the rebound. So we have to be better rebounding the ball. We got the guys that we want to shoot in there in the fourth. Unfortunately, we just couldn't capitalize on it.
Jason, you talked about the slow start a little bit. Is there anything specific that you see that this is happening again? Is there a need for Kyrie to be more involved sooner? Is there just more force that needs to be shown early in the game?
Yeah, this is like game 1, early game. For whatever reason, we just haven't played well. We've gotten off to slow starts. We've played better in the second half, so that's just something that we got to talk about as a team. Is if there's another afternoon game, we got to make sure that we're ready to go from jump, and we can't wait.
How did that impact the team? What did you tell them to try to overcome it?
Yeah, the referees called it tight early and then let it go back to what it has been. And so they tried to take control of the game early to set the tone. Fouls were across the board. Everybody was fouling. And so, again, we got to be better. Our guys got in foul trouble a little bit. We got to learn how to play with foul trouble. And then on top of that, if Luka's not in, Luka wasn't in for 3 or 4 minutes, we're minus a 15. So we got to look at that group that's out there without Luka. We got to be better.
Coach Kyrie obviously led the today, but Derek Jones had a really big impact. Can you just share your thoughts on his performance today?
Yeah, Derek was great. He's been great. And so being able to knock down the threes, being able to drive the ball, being able to get to the rim, making plays, and then defensively, we've asked him to guard everybody, and he's doing that. So we're going to need that, throughout this series, and we're going to need that on Wednesday.
Coach Kidd, after a game like today where it's hard fought, y'all battle all the way back, what kind of message did you give your guys after fighting back, but also y'all have Game 5 coming up?
Yeah, we'll talk about that on Tuesday. But after the game, hard fought, we have to be better. Our starts have to be better. We can't rely on the three. We got to take what the team is giving us. And then if we're not scoring, we got to be able to put up a better fight there defensively. But lastly, we got to take care of the ball. We just had too many turnovers coming down the stretch and throughout the game. And when we do take care of the ball and get shots, it tends to help us score.
Jason, when you guys did go really big, I think one of the lineups featured Derek Jones and Maxi and Lively. A lineup has barely played together, about 50 possessions this year. I think even for a moment, PJ was with them and 0 possessions for them. What just worked so well? What did you see in that stretch of the third quarter where you guys were playing that big?
Yeah, I think just active. Our hands were active. We got steals. We got the rebound. That's one of the big things that's always hurt us in the past is if we don't get the rebound, that always leads to a easy putback or an open three. And so I thought we did. We were better with that big group. We were active. It takes them in the sense of being able to hunt. Luka, being able to have someone out there, but also understanding just the movement and being able to spread the floor out on the other end too. But we got to run, and I thought with that group we did get out and run because we got stops.
With them hunting Luka, I saw at one point he basically said, "Hey, stop sending a second guy to help me." How do you kind of balance that? He's not moving that well. He's struggling, sending a double or just letting him try to compete and playing behind him.
Well, there's two things. You trust that your best player is going to, and your leader can make a stand, but also you're there to help. And so you got to try to change different pitches. You can't just give those guys a steady diet of the same thing because they'll wear you out. And so understanding we take in his information, but also we got to help him, and we got to be better team defensively. But also on the ball, we got to be better. We got to make sure that if we're giving up something, it's the twos and not the threes.
Jason, you lose the game, but coming back from 31 points, is there anything psychologically you gain from that?
Yeah, just understand we don't quit. We won't quit. We're going to play for 48 minutes. If things don't go our way, we're not going to pout and just go away. We're going to continue to keep fighting. This game is just like game one. We had one bad quarter. In the second quarter in game one, we couldn't score. We scored 8 points. This time we scored 16. But just understand what's at stake. This is a veteran ball club we're playing. They've seen everything. This is the first time this group has been put together. So we got to go through this experience live. They've gone through these experiences of being down, and so just understand what we're facing, and then understand when Kawhi is out, we got to be better. For whatever reason, we tend to relax, so we got to address that too.
And can you talk more about that, because that's the other similarity? What is the different challenge trying to defend them without Kawhi?
Oh, they play faster, and also that gives Paul George and those guys the green light. That's one less pass they got to make and one more attempt they get. And when you give PG those type of looks early, he's one of the best in the league. And so you got your hands full if you're going to let him get off threes and he starts to make them. You got to be able to make him put the ball on the floor. But this is the game of basketball. They're not just going to let you do what you want. That's why he's so good.
What are your thoughts about the bench play tonight?
Yeah, we got to be better. Our bench has to be better. Our team has to be better.
Before Harden's surge in the fourth, you guys stopped him from making any shots in the third. What was important and what was the emphasis about stopping a shot creator of Harden's caliber?
Yeah, Harden can make them all. At the rim, middies, he can shoot the three. You got to live with contested twos. Because if you're going to dare him to shoot threes or you're going to try to contest the three, he's going to knock those down. So I thought the group did a good job of trying to get him inside the three-point line. He made some tough twos, and we got to live with those.